Hey guys, and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, okay? So today's video is about safety in Mexico. A lot of people are always asking me, hey Nick, do you feel safe in Mexico? Do you feel some sort of comfort in Mexico?
Future editing, Nick. Sorry, totally forgot this part. I've been living in Mexico for 6 months. So I'm giving you these tips and tricks as someone that has lived here and someone that has experienced a few things here in Mexico and lived abroad for 6 months, right? So listen to these tips, y'all, when y'all come to visit, and I hope you have an amazing time visiting Mexico. Now back to what I was talking about.
A lot of people want to know, is there a lot of crime in Mexico? Let's face it, I know you guys in the United States are watching the news and you're probably seeing a lot of content related to Mexico being dangerous or unsafe or full of drugs or full of this, full of that, full of this, full of that. But at the end of the day, I have to tell you, I have never felt completely unsafe in Mexico. I have visited Cancun, I have visited Guadalajara, CDMX, which is Mexico City, and Puerto Vallarta. Now, here's the deal. Anytime you travel abroad or internationally, or hell, even in the United States these days, you have to remain vigilant. So this video is for you if you are traveling in Mexico in 2025, and I'm going to go through my tips so you can be safe when traveling abroad in Mexico. So let's get to it. Make sure you go ahead and like this video if you like me, or go ahead and comment below where you're going to visit in Mexico in 2025. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And thank you already so much for watching. Let's get to today's video. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is research the area where you're visiting, right? There's a lot that can go into where you are visiting. So pull up on the map where your particular Airbnb or hotel is going to be and sort of map out a route of where you're going to sort of be hanging out so you can kind of get your bearings on where things are, like a grocery store, a convenience store, maybe even a medical area like a hospital or urgent care, just so you can kind of know where things are, and then kind of know where your favorite restaurants and bars are that you want to attend, so you can kind of map out a route so you have a general idea of where the hell you're gonna be going in this new place. Because you want to kind of have an idea of what are the safest routes or what are the main routes to sort of walk on, so you can kind of know exactly the areas that are more tourist centrally located, because those are going to be the areas where you're going to see the most heavily cops patrolling, right? If it's a touristy area in Mexico, I've seen a lot of cops, right? That is not a bad thing. You want to see cops, right? You want to see that sense of safety element. And I'm more safe when I see cops. I know some people are like, ooh, I don't like cops. But when I see cops, I'm like, oh, okay, this is like a good area to be in because they're patrolling regularly. And that's where you want to be. Now, if you do get caught up in a little bit of a situation, that's on you if you want to contact the cops. I know some people always are like, child, don't even bother because they're not gonna do anything. But if it's a big enough situation to get cops involved, I would actually get them involved. Now, a week or so ago, a friend of mine's mom got her phone stolen. We chose to not call the cops just because like it's like gone. What can we do, you know? So it's like taking it case by case and figuring out whether or not you want to reach out to them. Now, the second tip here is staying in safe accommodations. Choosing reputable hotels, hostels, or Airbnbs is very important. You want to make sure that you look at the reviews and make sure that they are highly rated. Now, I'm saying this, which is kind of common sense, but you would be surprised how many times I see it in Facebook groups of people getting scammed, people, running into different issues. It is imperative that you do your research thoroughly on this, because at the end of the day, there's bad people everywhere, and there might be some bad angels there might be some bad actors out there that might want to take advantage of you. So just do your due diligence there and do good research. I want to say I got my apartment through a Facebook group. I literally just wrote in a Facebook group, hey, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, and here's my criteria. And then people just sort of commented below different links to different locations. And I honestly looked at like 5 of them and found my place, which you can take a tour of through this video right here. My third tip is actually kind of interesting because I was walking around in Guadalajara and I had on this same little like chain. It's probably like fake. I don't even know anymore where I even got it. I think I bought it on Amazon for like $20. However, it is gold, right? Like it appears to be real gold. So this is something that you would probably want to cover up or not particularly show while you're walking around anywhere. Honestly, even in New York City. I sometimes take it for granted that I am just an American walking around the United States, but anywhere in the world, you should be careful about displaying signs of wealth. So expensive gadgets like a phone, a camera, jewelry, or even large amounts of cash, like when you're going from the ATM. Just be very, very careful about what you're doing in those situations. And you should be okay. The next thing is, I swear you guys, I feel so dumb saying this, but again, I see it so many times in Facebook groups of people falling into transportation scams as well. Use trusted transportation, always. Ubers, Lyfts, or even taxis, and make sure when you're getting in and out of a taxi, I know this sounds like common sense, but I see this a lot. People losing wallets, phones, cameras, you name it. Make sure you have all of your belongings when you leave a taxi. Duh. One more tip here. Sometimes it is good to just sort of keep in mind the license plate of the driver or just a general idea of what they look like and maybe even their name in the taxi, right? Just in case you need that later. And one big tip here is if you're taking a taxi in Mexico, always ask what the fare is before you start riding. I always do this because I want to know what is the fare. Like, what are we getting into here, firstly? Because I want to know if it is above sort of what is the standard. That way you can kind of gauge whether or not it could be a scam down the road when you're going to pay them. So always ask what is the fare before starting. The next tip is kind of a no-brainer, but I think we need to say it. Be cautious at night. Try not to walk alone at night because at the end of the day, this is when you might be vulnerable, right? I ran into an issue at night alone because there was not a lot of people in the town that I was in, and a cop like sort of pulled me over and kind of like asked me like what I was doing, and I was like, I'm walking home. So, and that could have became a bribery situation. I don't know because I was able to get away, but you do want to make sure that if you're walking alone at night, get your ass home fast. Like, get home quickly, and especially if you're in an unfamiliar area, definitely just try to take a cab or an Uber. It's really not worth it. The next thing is also it's kind of hard, right? Because you're on vacation, you want to wear flashy colors, you want to like dress a little nicer sometimes, you want to dress up, and you want to have fun with your friends or whoever you're with. And sometimes you're a little flashier than the usual local, right? That might make you stand out more as a tourist. And unfortunately, that can create a potential target. So just keep that in mind when sort of picking out your wardrobe or picking out what you're gonna wear. Make sure you pick things that are a little bit more blending in-able. Just made up a new word. All right, and where's my bag? I cannot stress enough how important it is to pick up one of these guys. I love my crossbody bag, and yes, I might look like a tourist when I wear it, but at the end of the day, it's helpful in, I'm able to keep all of my stuff sort of secured right here. Or if I do like that, you can't take the bag unless you take my body, which I don't even want to think about that. So anyways, pick up a little crossbody bag at H&M or one of the little like TJ Maxx stores. Very, very affordable for the convenience. I'm gonna go ahead and link one below that I really love. So check that out in the description of this video. And continuing on to that one, you just wanna be more mindful about what is going on around you, right? Because when you're on vacation, you're kind of out of mind, out of body. And sometimes you might be a little tipsy, honey, which is okay because you're on vacation. But at the end of the day, you don't wanna lose sight of who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, those three things matter so much to your safety and your overall wellness. So make sure that you're kind of looking around all the way around, right? Like when I'm in New York City, my head is on a swivel. When I'm anywhere in the world, my head is on a swivel because I don't want nobody doing nothing weird around me. And the moment I sort of see something weird happening around me, I just move. It's just that simple. People can be weird anywhere in the world. It's not just Mexico. It's not the United States. It's everywhere. Just be mindful of who you are around at all times. The next thing is kind of sad. I know. You're going to want to limit your alcohol, y'all. I see it so many times where drunk people will be stumbling around and it definitely causes a scene, right? Now, that is putting a target on you because you are looking weaker than the rest, right? Like if I'm walking around and I'm a bad actor and I see you kind of stumbling around or, being belligerently crazy, then there might be something that, could happen to you. So just be mindful of what you're drinking, what you're consuming, and definitely don't ever take drinks from strangers. And don't just be leaving your drinks hanging around. Like people can throw drugs in them or people can do things to the drinks. You definitely don't want to be involved in a situation that leaves you drugged or, in a precarious moment. So definitely be mindful of your alcohol consumption. And y'all, it's possible to overdo it. It's Mexico, right? The margaritas are always flowing. Just make sure that you're either with someone that you trust or you can get away back to your place, your home, or your Airbnb or hotel. The next tip, I have like a little note in my phone where I've shared it with a few select friends or relatives just to kind of give people my name, my social security number. No, I don't think I have that in there. My date of birth, just like medical stuff, just in case something happens to me, a friend can help in that situation, right? You want to share your location with trusting people just so they can kind of have an idea of where you are in case something happens. It's also important to share your location in case your phone gets lost or stolen. That can help find it in the case, that may be possible. And the last one is you want to just kind of save some local emergency numbers. Maybe even have pictures of your passport in your phone, your driver's license. If you don't really need to carry those items, don't carry them. I never carry my ID and I never carry my passport unless I am going somewhere where I really need to do that. However, I do have photos of those things in my phone, but I never carry the real ID. What's crazy is I've never been asked to show my ID here. Of course, I look over 18 and 18 is like the legal age to do anything at like a bar or club here. So hey guys, I hope this is helpful when you're planning your trip to Mexico. I know some of these tips are really like common sense no-brainers, but to be honest with you, as I was putting this list together, I was like, oh, I need to be doing a better job of this. So don't ever think a tip or a trick like these are too dumb for you, because at the end of the day, something can happen to you anywhere or anytime or any day. So definitely be careful and be safe and enjoy your time in Mexico. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video and share it with friends, honey, because we all need to stay safe and be careful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.